Maybe this sounds familiar to you. You're out and about, and something catches your attention. And you think about it, and the wheels start turning, and you're hit with inspiration, excited. You just can't wait to get started drawing this cool idea that you had. And you go for it with lots of enthusiasm, but when it's done, it isn't quite what you were hoping for. Well, I know I can relate. So in this video, I'd like to share with you some tips on how to draw from your imagination. And I'll show you how I applied these tips for a drawing of my own. So the first tip I'd like to share is to visualize your idea. Try to make a clear mental picture of what it is that you want to draw. Now, it doesn't have to be all figured out at this stage, but what is it? Are there any specific details that you can pinpoint? For example, I knew that I wanted to draw a girl with braids in her hair, a white bandana on her forehead, an all blue outfit, and she's standing against a sort of purple-pink background. And I got this idea upon seeing a man jogging wearing an outfit similar to what I end up drawing this character in. So once you have a clear mental picture for your idea, I would recommend tip number 2, which is to sketch it out. Try doing some quick preliminary drawings or doodles to help you get your idea on paper. You might find that certain elements will need some adjustments. This can also help you see some of the strengths and weaknesses of your concepts and any gaps you would need to fill in order to execute the idea as a finished piece. I recommend doing quick, rough drawings at whichever size feels comfortable for you. This way, you can test and experiment with the idea quite a bit without spending too much time and effort. Tip number 3 is reference. Once you have a general direction and a solid idea for what you want your drawing to look like, try to find some reference images to help strengthen your idea and fill in any of the gaps you might have noticed before. You can look for references for poses, outfits, and hairstyles, colors, layouts, etc., etc. You can also combine elements from different images. Online searches are quick and easy, but they're not the only way to find reference. If you can't seem to find a reference online that matches your needs, I recommend taking your own reference pictures. So I ended up doing a combination of online searches and taking my own reference pictures. I did a couple more quick sketches based on the references I gathered, and I picked the one I thought best captured what I was going for. Then I took a picture of my sketches so that I could easily reference them while drawing. This time I'm drawing a bit more carefully and at size while paying attention to the specific details. I intend for this to be the next step toward the finished drawing. Here I'm doing a super quick color test. So now I'm going to trace the drawing so that I can transfer it onto a new sheet of paper. This way I can ink the transferred version without modifying the original sketch. I like to do this just in case I make a mistake, because that way the original is preserved. There was some trial and error because I discovered in the transfer process that the face was not as symmetrical as I had thought. Now I transfer the drawing with some DIY transfer paper. I proceed to ink and then color. It had been a while since I had last used colored pencils, so I was working slowly, gradually building up layers of color in order to get the values that I wanted. There was a bit of trial and error with this as well. I used this alcohol-based colorless blender marker in order to get that smooth, burnished colored pencil. And it's done. So for me, the drawing came out pretty similar to my original idea, but it wasn't exactly the same. This is because I made some changes. Some intentional, some not so much. But I think that's okay. So for example, my original idea looked more like a character of mine, but I didn't want to draw her for this. So I changed her facial features. The drawing was not quite as stylized as my original idea because I think I might have followed the reference a little too closely. I think that reference will almost always make your work stronger no matter what style you're working in. And remember, you don't have to follow it so precisely. You can just pick and choose the elements that you need for your piece. I hope these tips are helpful in some way. Let me know in the comments how you get your ideas on paper. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.